These are the Saucony Hurricane 25. They feature dual layer max cushioning, CenterPath Technology, and a premium mesh knit upper. But how comfortable are they? How do they perform? And most importantly, are they worth the money that they're asking for? All that's coming up, so be sure to stick around. Hi everyone, I'm Tim and this is Run Tall. If you're new here, welcome to the Run Tall family. I'm really glad you are here and you found us on YouTube. Now I post videos all the time about running, training, recovery, and gear reviews. So if you're into that kind of thing, I want to invite you to subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free to do, and it really does help out. Now, before I get into it too far, I do want to get a disclosure out of the way. The Saucony Hurricane 25 was sent to me for the purpose of review by Roadrunner Sports. However, no one's paying me to make the video, no one's telling me what to say, and no one has an opportunity to preview my thoughts before I share them with you first here on YouTube. And if at any point in time during this video you might want to learn a little bit more about it or maybe pick up a pair for yourself, I'll put a link in the description below. They'll take you right to it on their product webpage. I ordered mine true to size, and for me, that's a US men's size 9. They have a stated weight of 10 ounces or 283 grams. So let's take a look at that premium mesh knit upper. It is really soft to the touch. Feels great. Lots of perforations up here in the toe box with plenty of stretch. I felt like I had lots of room to be able to splay my toes. All that's really important because when you're out on a long run or on a hot day like I had today, I was out and it was over 90 degrees Fahrenheit, your feet are going to swell. And having that little bit of stretch and that room to be able to splay your toes make this upper really accommodating. So it felt really comfortable the entire time that I was out there. Now those perforations do continue on along both the lateral and the medial side of the shoe. So they're breathable. I wouldn't say that they're highly breathable though. I didn't feel like the air was gushing through my toe box, but they were definitely comfortable enough that I felt really good the entire time that I was out on that run. All right, so let's take a look at the eyelet chain. Now this is a pretty standard eyelet chain. There's nothing crazy going on here, but it does a really good job. I felt like I got locked in and secure across my midfoot that kept my heel locked in place. So I think that they didn't do anything really crazy here, but they didn't need to. It's simple and it works, and I greatly appreciate that. This shoe is built with comfort in mind, and the tongue reflects that. It's a fairly thick tongue. Very comfortable. It is gusseted on both sides, so you don't have to worry about it migrating around. I didn't have any kind of issues with that at all, and slipping my feet into the shoes was no problem. I like the fact that they're gusseted. It just gives you that little extra security knowing that you're not going to have to fuss with the tongue during a run. I never felt like the laces were cutting across the top of my foot, even though I had them cinched down pretty well. And I do use a runner's knot typically. Not always, but typically I do use a runner's knot to help lock my heel back into the heel cup. And so I did that on this run, and it felt absolutely terrific. I didn't have any kind of issues with that at all. So I think they did a really good job with that. They also have plenty of padding around the heel collar and back here in the Achilles. Felt super comfortable. I didn't have any kind of hot spots. Now this is the kind of padding that I often call pillow style because it seems to rest mainly up around the collar of the shoe, much like resting your head on a pillow. And then it tapers down into the footbed, which creates a really nice heel pocket for your heel to set in. And I felt like I was comfortable there. I didn't have any kind of heel slippage at all. I felt like I was really connected to the shoe. Now, they do have plenty of structure back here in the heel counter, and I'm going to put it up on my shoulder, which I have now, and I'm going to give it that kind of pinch test so that we can kind of see how much structure is back here, because oftentimes that adds to a stable feeling when you're running in shoes, and so lots of structure back here. I didn't have any issues. Again, my heel didn't slip up or down or side to side. So let's take a look at the midsole. Now they have a max stack height here in the heel with a 6mm offset from the heel to the toe. They're utilizing a dual cushioning system. The top layer, the layer that you're standing on, is their Power Run PB-based foam. Now that is really soft and it's got a lot of bounce to it. So that's going to give you all of that comfort that you're going to enjoy in these shoes. And then just beneath that is their Power Run foam. That is the more responsive foam. Now, they've tied a lot of their component pieces together to create what they call CenterPath Technology, and that's to keep your tracking from your heel through to your toe in a neutral position. It's going to keep you comfortable, going to keep you safe, and going to keep you healthy and reduce the risk of injuries on all of those good things that stability shoes have going for them. They've got it rocking in this shoe, that's for sure. So let's take a look at those different component pieces that make up that CenterPath Technology. Number one is just how wide the shoe is. Now that's going to create just a stable ride altogether. One of the things I love about having a wide base on a running shoe is that it absorbs more of your foot strike's impact. And that can help reduce the risk of the injuries as well. So it doesn't feel like you're pounding the ground quite so much when you're running. So I absolutely love that feature. And then they also have this foam coming up quite high on the sidewalls. So you can see just how high that foam comes up onto the upper itself. So that's going to help you feel secure and contained. So it's going to contain your foot within the shoe itself, so you're not going to be moving around at all. And then they have the final piece is what they call an asymmetrical geometry of the shoe, which means that they have a bit more foam under the medial side of the shoe, so the arch side of your shoe, that's going to help you to keep from rolling inward. So if you overpronate and you have a tendency to roll inwards, that's going to help prevent you from doing that, to keep you into a healthy level of pronation. Again, to keep you tracking, that CenterPath Technology, to keep you tracking from your heel through to your toe off in a more neutral position. So I think they did an outstanding job. When I had these out on the run today, I was thoroughly impressed with just how good they felt on foot. And one of the things that I definitely noted is that even though the shoe is 10 ounces, which is pretty decent. That's a pretty lightweight max cushion stability shoe. 10 ounces is real respectable. But they ran lighter than that. And I think that has everything to do with that CenterPath Technology, with being able to flow through my gait so effortlessly. It just felt really terrific on foot. And I felt like I could put mile after mile after mile really, really comfortably. And we're going to put that to the test because this is my first run impressions of these. I'm going to bring you a much more detailed review in the future. And some of that starts tomorrow. I'm taking these out on my long run. So it's probably going to be around 10 miles or so because we're early in the training block. But as I start to build more and more miles, this shoe is definitely going to be a part of my rotation. Absolutely love these. And I'm looking forward to putting a lot more miles in them. And that has everything to do with that. All of that they have going on with that CenterPath Technology that's got going on. So let's flip these over though. And let's see how they're protecting all of that power run foam that we talked about. And now they have their XT900 rubber, which is a very durable outsole rubber, has plenty of grip, and they've got a lot of it. You can see it's covered pretty much from the heel all the way through to where your toe off. There's very little exposed areas here. So I think they did a really good job covering up all that power run foam and protecting our investment. So these shoes are going to last. They're going to be durable, and you're going to get your money's worth. I don't see any issues with that at all. I think these shoes are definitely going to go the miles, but we're going to find out. We're going to put it to the test because, again, these are my first run impressions of these, but so far it's really positive. And if asked, I would say definitely these are a buy. These are a buy, and I think that they would work well into your shoe rotation if you're a runner who enjoys a little extra stability, or you're a neutral shoe runner and you just like to have that little extra cushion and that little help. Because let's face it, you get into the latter miles of a workout and your form might start to break down a little bit. Well, having that CenterPath Technology to keep your feet tracking, keep your foot tracking in the right direction in that neutral position can help ward off injuries. And that's a really good thing. That's a really good thing. All right, you guys. So that is it. That is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. All right. As always, run tall, run strong, be kind to one another. Thanks for watching. And we'll definitely see you in the next video.